Let's maybe try something with a little quartal harmony. Thank you, Stream Elements. You're on the ball. A little faster. Maybe go up to 120. Alright, maybe something like this. No. So should be a quarter note there, kind of mirroring the rhythm of the first measure. Little localized modulation. So yeah, I like that. Okay, and instead of just an octave, this needs to be is that gonna be too thick? Yeah. We'll tie this over. Bye. Yeah, that should be nice. Tie that over. Let's double this at the octave. Actually, let's double it 2 octaves up. Let's get weird. Let's get weird with it. And then we'll diverge at that chord. That's a C. That should be a quarter note. It's a quarter note now. Alright, B, A, D, G. How about A, D, G? And then So is that gonna do anything? How's that gonna sound? Yeah, I like that. It's got a bit of the funk. You always want a bit of the funk, right? Let's have a kind of dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Mm. 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 Dun, dun. Mm. 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 I think G will be a good note to land on the downbeat of the measure after this. So, yeah, we have a C against an A. It's a good verticality. C A F A A. Yeah, that'll be good. Dun 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 dun. Dun da 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 da. Da da. Contrary motion will be good. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da, da. Now let's hear how that sounds. Da, da. Does that suck? I can't tell if that sucks. Yeah, let's make this an eighth note and use that same sort of chord turnaround we used in the intro. Okay. And we're going to go down to C instead of going back up to G, so we need to modify the bass line a bit. So this time, instead of an F sharp diminished triad, we can do we're going to C, so we want B, so F. Yo, Margot! Holy shit, thank you for the 19 months. Oh my god. 19 months, imagine. How are you doing today? D? D natural? Does that work? And then we go down. Pretty beat after work. Yeah, I could see that. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had one of those nights where I went to bed at 3:30, and then I slept about 4 hours. Couldn't get back to sleep for another hour and a half, and then just conked out like with the hardest sleep I've had in weeks for about 3 hours. Waking up at 1:20. So, not the ideal time to get up, but I feel very refreshed in comparison to usual. Yo, Brad. Well, 4 hours is still better than nothing, right? Just trying to see the silver lining. Yeah, this'll work. Get slept on, Brad. No, how you doing, dude? Maybe do like almost a Steely Dan turnaround here. You win because of less hours. The logic stands. Da, da. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Hemiola stuff. Don't want to get stuck in that rut. Da, da. Da, da. Yeah, it's a more interesting bass line. Da. Man, she's got the gun, the knife, the no you card. That's a lot to contest with. But yeah, we got a nice festival of subs at the end of yesterday, so I'm very grateful. But I'm also kind of antsy to finish Jump, so I'm like, let's compose, let's get this out of the way, but quick, and let's fucking play some damn gosh darn Mario, dude, right? Shit. I've also been watching a lot of King of the Hill, so I just kind of have Boomhauer as background noise in my head at all times. Oh god, that boss fight is so fucking good. Yeah, the winning attempt, I got hit once right at the end. I went from almost one-shotting it to not, to almost getting a hitless and then not. But, God, it's so fucking good. Like, what amazes me about World Peace, and this applies to their levels in addition to the apparatus, right? Oh, that was your win too? Oh, that's awesome. Where it's like, just the technical genius to create the custom stuff, but then the design is so economical and just so fucking enjoyable. Like, there's nothing out of place, there's nothing overdone, right? It's just, it's perfect in how I hear perfection in my head, right? It's just, it's mind-blowing to me. Da, da. What should come next? Like that Babam level. When I got done, I was just like, oh, of course it's a fucking World Peace level. Of course it is. Yeah. Again, just mind-blowing. Ooh. Okay, I'm kind of tonicizing, sort of creating a gravitational pull towards C, even though I'm hearing this in G. Yeah, why don't we like add in one more little ditty, and then we can get back up to the G. So we're leaning. We're doing the lungfish lean. No, Brad, I still need to do jump proper. I'm going reverse expectation order, not reverse chronological order, but yeah, the dumbest way to go about playing the games. No. Just quarter notes. I said quarter notes. Me. Come on, me. I mean, I've had so much fun with literally all of them, Yump 1 included, that it's like I want to play, like, find like a quick Kaizo hack to maybe spend a stream or two on, but then just jump right in, honestly. Kind of doing an 80s pop song thing here with the bass. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Mm. Mm. It's much steppier than jump half. Yeah, quarter note. Trying to find a way to get back to G based on the bass line that I'm doing here. Alright, let me just hear this for a second. I think this will work. Up. Eighth notes here. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing it around lately. And it's really made me want to give it a spin. Don't know if this is gonna work, but let's try. I may have to pull some magic out of what's happening up above, but let's see here. It might work. Yeah, I'm probably going to need like octaves in the bass. Those need to be a little louder. But I think that's going to be pretty cool sounding. Okay. Okay, so we can do... Here, let's see how this is going. Let's raise all of this up an octave. I think that'll sound a little better, actually. That'll prepare us for this spot. Little better. Where the fuck am I? There we go. Yeah, because I want to keep going down here. Down. Okay, well, what are other options? E flat. It's an E flat triad. C. Could do. What if we do like an F7 here? That could work. Will it? Let's see. Yeah, I like that. That F that I just put right there might not work, but we'll see. Oh, it works great. Works great. Yeah. Let's add some razzmatazz here. Switch from booming chords to some obfuscatory rhythm. We have eighth notes in the left hand. Let's put some triplets in the right hand. Give it a nice kind of wash. Okay, that's F. Okay. So when I'm in positions like this, I'm really always trying to look at, okay, like a C is landing against an E flat. There's like kind of this hierarchy of intervals where it's like, okay, these two notes together create this type of interval. This will sound good versus like, okay, this type of interval will sound hollow. You know, good, bad is eye of the beholder stuff, but in terms of like, I know what I'm going for, like the type of sound that I'm going for. So finding that right simultaneity is pretty important. So like, we're going to a D down here. We could do an E, but I'm going to go up to an F, and that'll work nicely, because now we can go to a G against an E. Again, I'm kind of talking about technical minutia here, but that type of like if-then process is going on in my head when I'm constructing like this type of line. Like when you're writing a melody, when you're writing a chord progression, like certain chords flow into each other well, and certain notes atop those chords flow well. So it's like you're finding ways when you're writing music to absolutely express your thing, but there's also like a logic to it that I think goes understated, where it's like if you know this stuff, you're diminishing the options that can be kind of crippling, right? I think that'll work. We're going to D. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't like this. This chord doesn't work. For me, at least. I think it's like the bass is going down, and that's also going down. I think I should go up here. Like moving in contrary motion, like one thread of music is going one direction. It's usually a better idea to have them go against each other as opposed to with each other, because it promotes a fullness of sound if you have that independence, because sound has a tendency to congeal with one another, especially if it's going in the same direction. It kind of connects with each other at a sonic level, and that can actually eliminate the amount of resonance. So I want to change that for this part. E flat. Okay, what happens if we just move the A flat here and put it on top? So I'm just taking one of the notes of the chord and moving it up an octave. So I'm not changing the chord, but I am creating that type of motion that I just referred to. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then we have this bass line. Will the chord work there. I'm going to try it out. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then we're going to turn this into an eighth note, and we're going to do this thing where, okay, we have attacks happening on the beat in this measure, and they're going to stay on the beat in the left hand, but I want, you know, the alternation for the next bar. Let's just move this up. Move this chord structure up a step. Yeah, I like that. So... and then we'll come back together. So I just want to hear how that sounds real quick. How's that sounding? Feel like it's getting a little out of my hands, so I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Having a little doubling might be kind of cool there. Dun, dun. Okay, so I think I want an A flat 7 flat 5 chord for measure 20 there. So, So I'm gonna fill that in because I know I want it, and that'll help inform where I want to go in these two bars right there. So do 7. We'll have all eighth notes to kind of pump it back to the repeat point. Something like this. Okay. So what I was just talking about with that contrary motion, what will this sound like? I really don't actually know exactly how this will sound. If we just have, like, so we have a half step of A to A flat in the left hand going down. What if we just have a half step of the same sort of chord structure going up here? This might work. I'm not sure. Works great. Kind of has a Ninja Gaiden type sound. I'm gonna actually we need kind of a different start for what I'm going for. Yeah, so I just want to make sure. Yeah. What happens? Yeah, I think making that slight change. Yeah. If you go to the C too quickly there, it kind of destabilizes the harmony, in my opinion, for what I'm going for. Alright, so I want to do another sort of flourish. So we have C here, C, B, B flat. Going to, the fuck is that chord? B. What the fuck did I do there? A, B, C sharp, F. A, B, C sharp, F. F, A, C sharp. Okay, so yeah, I'm basically going from like one type of altered dominant to another. Yeah, so that works. Okay, so we're at... I need to hear that. I'm kind of... Let's just throw some spaghetti here for a second. Something like this. That'll work. Yeah, and I like the idea of having a chord here. So what the fuck chord would this be? We have C, E flat. What happens if we just do something like that? Will C work? This is pretty awesome, I gotta say. And like, I like how it's a little angular in how it gets from one thing to another. I've been writing a lot of very, I guess you would call it stable, balanced music, and yeah, I kind of like the fact that this kind of goes against that a little bit. So let's just hear the whole thing again. Not like that. Okay. I think this will just about do it. Whoa! What happened? What happened? Okay. All right. So I want to, for anyone who's paying any attention to this, like this spot right here, where like all of a sudden both hands are doing the exact same thing. I have a really stupid analogy for why that's effective. Like, a lot of times you're trying to create a sense of multiplicity when you're writing music, where it's like, even though this is solo piano, you want there to be multiple threads of music happening at the same time. Like, you have the bass line, you have these chords, you have these little figurations. They're almost like, multiple characters, interacting and coexisting, right? But, like, those separate characters, how do you know they aren't the same person unless they appear at the exact same time? You see, so I think it reinforces the multiplicity to have those moments of singularity, right? If that makes sense in a really stupid way. It's a sort of Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme in music form. But I honestly have that thought. Like, especially, that's my thought process with sort of rhythmic interactions like these. Like, the fact that we have just straight quarter notes happening at the same time and they're moving together, then getting offset, as opposed to being offset the whole time, I think reinforces both things and strengthens them, whereas either one would get a little stale. So that's kind of my thought process there. So anyone who's listening, that's kind of my thing. Let's listen to this one more time, and then we'll switch over to some Mario. Yo, Tess. Yeah. And then I might do like there's the sort of stock form with certain types of music, ABA, where it's like you have the one set of stuff, then you have the different set of stuff, then you sort of round it all off with the initial stuff again. So I might like add in some of this once again just to kind of top it all off instead of having the repeat in perpetuity. Yeah, like whenever you have like this type of sound right here, Tass. Yeah, like those types of chords really give it that sort of jazz, which is probably like a result of like Bill Evans playing, especially. Thank you so much, Tess. How are you doing, dude? Okay, I want to change these to all eighth notes. Oh yeah. Well, because a lot of jazz theory is based more around it's almost treating all of the elements of a scale equally, and the functionality of harmony being almost entirely in the realm of the bass, right? So yeah, I'll do a quick little theory primer for that, because I know you'd be interested, Tess. And glad to hear you're doing well. I'm getting distracted by my own talking. So like in classical harmony, if you wanted to do like in C major, you wanted to do this chord progression, like 1 4 5 1. Like the chords would usually align. Like you would need, okay, this is the C chord, so you have to have C, E, and G, right? Any notes outside of that, unless you're kind of doing a sort of melodic motion, are illegal, technically. So, like, not doing any of that melodic motion stuff, kind of approaching it like you would a chorale, the chord progression would look like something like this. Am I gonna do all sorts of bad stuff? No, I think this will work. So it would sound like this. You know, like, and that's called functional harmony, where it's like you have the tonic chord, in this case C, and then it sort of goes off on an excursion called the predominant, in this case F. You could also go to D. And then there's the dominant chord, which prepares the return of the tonic, which would either be G or B. Like within functional harmony, it has to be above a particular bass note, and then the bass note, because we're working with triads, because it's functional classical harmony, you have a certain amount of notes you can choose from. But like... yes, exactly, Tess. But like with jazz, you could still have this function as long as the bass is in place, and then use chords that don't adhere to that triadic foundation. And that's true of pretty much even like the most standard jazz. So let's say I wanted to, well, we're in the key of C major. So again, it's about treating all of the scale tones almost equally. I'm simplifying it a bit, but let's do A, D, and B. Yeah, like three notes that would never, like, that are as distant from a C major triad as possible. But and then let's create a sort of harmonic motion that makes sense given this chord shape. We're staying within the scale. So because we have the bass, we'll have that similar sense of propulsion, right? Yeah, and that last chord isn't the best to end on. Like, even a jazz player would probably do something like this. Right? Like, you know, I have that F in there, which, you know, is a little crispy. It's a little dissonant, but if we just let that chord ring for a bit... and you lean on it enough, it sort of creates the sense of finality. F might be a tough one to include. I don't know if a jazz player would be, you know, a jazz pedant might be against doing that because F is the fourth scale tone, and so you're almost implying, like, I'm getting into, like, very theoretical micro minutia. But, F the pedants, yes. Yeah, like, you hear plenty of jazz that ends with that type of sonority, and it's completely, you know, okay, right? Whereas a classicist would hear that F and immediately have to resolve it up. You know, so that it ends with the triad. But do you see how you still have that same sense of functionality in terms of that starting out at home, going somewhere else, and then turning the corner to get back home, even though, like, the notes on top are completely distant from the bass line in this sort of jazz example. Does that make sense? Well, yeah. I mean, especially like since the 80s, when there was the sort of movement to academicize jazz, which was like a big, like, Wynton Marsalis venture, where it's like, now that you have jazz being taught in colleges and that type of thing, it's very much, it's just as much a museum culture. I mean, not just as much, but it absolutely is museum culture, just as, like, classical Western white guy music is too, right? And I mean, there's always the avant-garde manifestations of it, but like, for instance, if you were to play like how John Coltrane did for his last set of albums, like, that wouldn't be okay to do in an academic jazz setting. Some people might even have to draw the line terminologically, saying like, okay, you're bridging from jazz into, creative music or free improvisation or that type of thing. Like, the term jazz, because of its academicization, has become more codified to mean a more specific thing. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could probably tell how giddy and excited I am talking about this, even though I also love writing, just blips and bloops and bleeps that have no coherence, right? I love the original Metroid sound. But yeah, like, Debussy, he kind of, in a lot of ways, went against the sort of codified traditions of classical harmony, but in one of his essays, basically his thesis was, you should learn this stuff. I don't know why. I'm gonna have some wine and cheese now, and then write some beautiful music, and that's kind of my outlook. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this went. That's super cool. So I'm gonna take a short bathroom break, top off my coffee, and we'll hopefully get the rest of Jump Half going. Yeah, Taz, it's super funny where, like, even when Arnold Schoenberg was writing tonal music, like stuff that is. It's like he tried as hard as he could to, like... Oh, thank you so much, Margot. Like, Schoenberg, initially, he was like... he was influenced by Brahms and Wagner, and I think it was Verklärte. Was it Verklärte or was it one of the other ones? But in any case, there was, like, the sort of academics, they found one single instance of, like, a resolution of dissonance that wasn't documented in their treatises, and they're like, oh, nope. And Schoenberg was like, what the fuck? Like, I wrote this complex note against note counterpoint, and you're giving me shit for this one thing. Because Schoenberg considered himself a traditionalist, ultimately, which I thought was pretty funny. Okay. BRB, I'll put on some other music.